My name is Dan Dorval, and I'm President and CEO of Dorval and Cherney Financial Advisors. I am an independent certified financial planner and author of my book, Financial Success for the Rest of Us, Reality-Based Financial Planning for Mainstream America.
Hi, my name is Leah Woodley. I'm an associate financial advisor with Dorval and Cherney Financial Advisors. Our conversations discuss what it means to do quality of life planning in all areas of your life.
Dan, it's that time again, and this is the first one of the new year. So, why don't you introduce us to the first 2026 Quality of Life Nurse Award recipient?
So our January award winner is Leola Martin, who is from Allina Health Systems. She had an excellent nomination from somebody we had met recently, and we are very excited to have a conversation with her.
All right, let's bring her on. Hi, Leola.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Congratulations on being our next Quality of Life Nurse Award recipient.
Thank you. Feel very honored.
Well, you got an excellent nomination from Melissa, who has worked with you. And if I
Yes.
understand the nomination right, she says you have 60 years of experience.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. I was a nurse aide for the year after I graduated from high school in 64. Then I started my LPN training in 65 and graduated in 66. It was 35 years LPN, got my RN, and I am casual part-time right now.
Wow, that's incredible. So I've helped thousands of nurses over the years, and I can tell you, I've had many of them who have worked a very long career, but I have never had anyone tell me 60 years.
Yeah, they just think I'm nuts. Then the younger gals, I call them my kids, my coworkers, they said, no, you can't retire.
Well, and why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because Melissa talked about how important it is, like improving quality of life for the nurses that you help with all of your experience, that mentorship and understanding of just everything you've seen over your time. Why don't you talk a little bit about the importance of nurses helping out other nurses?
Oh, it's very important. That's what I like about the act. We have the nurse program in town and like at Mankato State, and they've come and we've mentored them, for their year or their 6 months or whatever they're there, and to teach them not to be afraid to talk to the patient, to touch the patient. And I said, you'll learn which patient doesn't want to be touched. It's sort of, you have a feeling and to talk, just to talk to them and get them, if they're nervous for surgery or nervous about something else, talk about their life. Have them say, what have you done? What's your best, vacation? Or, do you do this? Do you do that? So that's what I tell them and I do in my own life.
Well, obviously you've been around a long time, and so you've seen healthcare change dramatically over that time. Why don't you
Oh,
talk a
yes.
little bit about the differences between, when you first started caring for people as an LPN and then, to today's world where new nurses are coming into this environment? Why don't you talk a little bit about those changes?
The changes are in some ways good, in some ways I hate them because you're spending so much time on the computer and there's not that one-to-one that the patient gets. I know they say the computer saves time. No, it doesn't. Because they're always putting new programs in. You got to sit here, you got to go there, you got to put this there. You've got to make sure you put down what you did for that patient, what you didn't do, it's just when we did it, we wrote it. We wrote it down as we did it, and it was over. And you passed your meds, you gave them their bath, you gave them their back rub at night so they could go to sleep, they could brush their teeth. It's giving those personal cares that's going by the wayside now because everybody's got to be at the computer putting in what they've done as far as giving the meds, doing the routine care, doing the different orders that they've done for them, IVs, that type of thing. And in an intensive care, when I worked there, I mean, that you're just constantly going. I mean, just constantly. I don't know how they do it now because I don't know. You know, we did it. I mean, because we had all the IV tubings and everything too, but we didn't have to. I don't know. We just wrote it as we did it. We didn't have to. Oh yeah, we got to get this all down. But I don't know. Yeah, it's I've I've held a lot of hands. The I've held babies' hands. I've held, toddlers. My grandkids, when they were in ER, held their hand. I held an elderly lady as she breathed her last breath. And I've had, births, deaths through this whole hospital. I mean, everybody knows me because I've been there so long. And I'm taking care of grandkids and almost great grandkids of people I took care of, previously. So it's nice when somebody walks in, they said, I thought you had retired, or, this one guy has come in about 2 or 3 times. He said, oh, there's my nurse. She saved my life in ER because he had had a heart attack. I just happened to be there, So I've worked all the different areas, from, med surge to supervisor. And then I was all in different area, women's health, I helped with the birth of a baby, and and then the hardest part is when you have to be with parents that bring their dead child in, and as well as, caring that way for them to help them understand. And yeah, it's been a very good life. I love it.
Well, you've seen a lot. Thank you for sharing so much of your experiences with us. If you could leave one piece of advice for other nurses who are trying to improve the quality of life of their patients or their fellow coworkers or even just people in their community, what advice would you give them?
To not be afraid to talk to the patient or touch the patient, and learn about their lives if you have a chance, so that you as yourself can learn maybe through them to do better. Like was looking at one interview, and she talked about how they're trying to give to some, now especially with Christmas giving and stuff, and being kind. Kindness goes a long way. And I hear that a lot when patients leave and they go, you were so kind to me. I had a 11-year-old tonsil that was crying because her throat hurt when she got done. And I said, hold my hand, and the other nurse is going to give you some medicine. And she held my hand and she just looked at me and she said, you're beautiful. And I went, well, you are too, my dear, So it's just simple. It's just hard to do in this fast day.
Well, this has been a fantastic conversation, and we appreciate you sharing your time. You're an incredible nomination for our award. You're exactly the reason why we are trying to show, an acknowledgement of all the ways that nurses improve quality of life for their communities. And you exemplify that perfectly. So
Thank you.
congratulations on this award. We do send out a $500, gift for this.
Oh my.
So we will be sending that out to you. But more than anything, we just want to thank you for all of your service over all of these decades, the thousands and thousands of patients that you've helped, and know that nurses are seen and heard by people like, like our group out there. And we appreciate all you do.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
You're doing a great job.
And so are you. Thank you again.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye, Lee.
Bye.
Bye.